Hello again, this is Ezekiel doing another part of Operation Bluecoat After Action Report. I have no idea, I forgot what part we're up to, just look at the title below. Where we left off, we had some king tigers right in front of us, and it really started to scare my armour on the main road. I've taken it as a warning, and I'm going to move my remaining Churchill off the main road. You'll notice if I ever go back up towards the Priam objective that there's a tank sound at the edge of the road, so I think the king tiger that was advancing was already at the end of the road and looking down, try and spot targets. So there's only the dust from the artillery rounds providing concealment at the moment, so it's not a good position to be in. While my armour redeploys, I'm going to take this opportunity to move the infantry up. It's time to really clean out the Hector objective. So that means 2 objectives will be occupied, and I just got to worry about the final one now. So just moving this, I think it's a 15 platoon, moving them up down the centre here, as well as the few remaining soldiers from the breach team and some tank crews who have picked up their fallen comrades' weapons. So still got some good manpower in terms of numbers, so fingers crossed will be enough. Just separating the forces out a little bit here just to get some better viewing angles and line of sight on potential targets. While I'm advancing, I want to be able to spot as much of the battlefield as possible. Meanwhile, the Churchills on my left flank, even though they've lost I think it's their platoon commander, or the troop commander, sorry, going to move the other 2 up. I want them up front and forward. They're really wasting their time this far back. Let's move them up quickly to hopefully miss any danger spots where enemy guns are pointing. I'm moving to where I am because you'll notice, looking at ground level, I'm concealed by the barns, both directly in front and to my right flank. This should hopefully mean that my Churchills there will be safe from enemy anti-tank gunfire from the German baseline. Meanwhile, this other platoon that's been occupying my left flank will move up as well. Once again, trying to spot any new targets. If I can get an ongoing line of sight on those king tigers, it'd probably be really good at this stage, just so I know exactly where they are at any one time. Hopefully give me enough warning to react if need be. So just double checking that reverse order. Don't want them reversing into the ruined shed. Hit the big red button, we're off. Okay, so still got more German artillery falling on the Paris objective. And another anti-tank gun spotted. That's probably the one that took out the Churchill in the previous turn. So get a better view on what that is later on. Okay, take a few casualties. Sort of lucky I'm moving these tanks. I didn't expect the artillery to come down that hard on Paris. However, the button-up Churchill should be safe for the moment. Alright. So, just back up and we'll go find out what that particular gun was. It looks like it was still shooting at the Churchill, destroying it completely. Okay, the king tiger's moved up further. Yeah, it looks like, yeah, it's that anti-tank gun that took the Churchill out. I wondered why the Churchill didn't get destroyed in one hit if it was shot by the King Tiger. So since it's not an 88mm round, I'm guessing it's a 75mm pack gun. Meanwhile, this platoon that's moved up has spotted a few stragglers. We've still got an SMG in that building, so that could be dangerous, but they've really got view across the entire objective now. And as suspected, there's not much opposition left. So I'll use the next turn just to clear out the rest of the Germans. Well, I think it was I assume that's my mortars falling down on the north side of the Hector objective. Luckily, they're not falling on my own troops. That would have been a bit dangerous. Okay, and I've also spotted a Panzer IV on the main road, right in the centre of Priam. I think that's what got my Stuart before in the previous video. Looks like I was sitting there on Overwatch and covering my right flank. So just be careful there. I've still got artillery coming down on Priam in the near future. While it looks like my mortars and 88mm howitzers are about to come down now, or they're currently firing. Just looking here, finding the one with the destroyed gun. That Churchill, a few videos ago, lost its 75mm main gun. So at this late stage of the campaign, it's turned into a bit of an expendable unit, bit of a test case. So I'm going to charge it up towards where the infantry have just advanced to hopefully draw fire. Not too good for the crew inside, I apologise in advance. But yeah, that will hopefully find me a safe path up to the Hector objective, because I'm pretty sure that main road is not a safe path anymore. My Churchill with the 95mm and the Sexton support gun obviously didn't spot any tanks that took up position. So while this is loading and I do my final checks, Battlefront just announced its plans for the coming year and early next year. So that's over on the Battlefront forums. Some good news there. I didn't expect the Eastern Front game to be planned for this year. Using this same engine we're looking at now to do 1944 and 45 on the East Front. Late War East Front. It's going to be looking really forward to that, and the Market Garden module for this particular game as well will be awesome. Yeah, the two big ones I'm looking forward to at the moment. Okay. The Churchills can't spot that King Tiger. It'd be nice if they could with the side armour, but not going to happen, it looks like. Sort of glad I moved out when I did, actually. That's quite deadly on Paris. That's levelling buildings even. Looks like my Churchills on the left there have spotted the advancing reserve infantry, and they're taking pot shots in the open field. That should be really good. Didn't expect that to happen. Generally, troops in crop fields like that can be well concealed for quite some time. So just go forward now to see what type of damage I'm doing. Some long-range high explosive fire. Ooh. Yep, that is not a good day. Direct hit. Okay, that Churchill test case doing a dummy run is still alive, so that is pretty good. Meanwhile, my infantry, including the one of the platoon leaders, has managed to advance into that two-storey building without getting shot. Took a casualty there though late in the piece, so maybe that was just from a stray mortar round. But everyone else seems to be alright, hunkered down. Yeah, I remember organising this. Got my mortars coming down to that 88mm on the top right there, on my right flank. That's definitely a priority target. Just trying to work out what I'm going to do with the rest of the off-map artillery. I'm in two minds here. Do I save it for trying to do some artillery strikes around the King Tigers to just damage them and take them out of the fight? Or do I dump the rest of the artillery directly on that third objective and basically wipe it out? Wipe it out and really hurt the infantry. Even though the aircraft support I got in this mission and the largest of the artillery pieces I can't access because I lost the forward observer early in the piece, the remaining howitzers and the 114mm battery, I think it is, that can still do some serious damage. So if those infantry decide to dig in around Priam, that's definitely the plan of attack. It's getting awfully close. It's probably a little adventurous moving my infantry directly that close to my own artillery support at Hector. Oops. But looks like it was largely successful. That's my 114mm coming in now on Priam. It's only going to be a relatively quick strike, but still got plenty of artillery rounds for that particular battery. Yeah, only got, was it 118 more rounds firing for less than a minute, so I've still got about 100 rounds left. I can probably do a max order and just really hurt that final little village before I advance. My infantry are already pretty beat up from taking the first two objectives, so anything I can do to lighten the load this late in the game, or we're still technically mid-game, yeah, anything I can do would be a huge benefit. Always got to worry about the artillery in this game. Do you use it early? Do you try and save it? Usually I find myself worrying about that most games I play. So we're just going to advance this platoon up further. Looks pretty safe now. There should be nothing on that side of the hedgerow. The simple fact it's been absolutely pummeled with artillery for the last 2 minutes. I think it was the 88mm howitzers landing on that part, so nothing should be alive there. If it is, it's probably already running. So just looking for some good spots, still with some cover, but maximising the view that the infantry will have, giving them the best line of sight possible. while I'm doing that, it's been a bit of a delay in this video. I spent some of my time, combat mission time, designing up a new spreadsheet, new tool for players to record their battles. The previous video on this particular channel will have a video demonstration of that and a link to where you can download it, so if you're interested in that, check it out. Maybe it's a little bit compulsive on my part, I admit, but it's also, I think it's very, very good to record your battle results over time and see how you fare with each type of force you can play. So spent a few days designing that up and getting it nice and automated, so minimal input on the end user's part. So yeah, please feel free to check it out and leave some comments and any improvements you think that can be made to it. If I remember when I upload the video, well, I'll put a link in the description. At this point, I'm also thinking of moving up my remaining Churchills. Now that I know there's a safe path up to the Hector objective without getting spotted by the enemy tanks in Overwatch, I'll move the other tanks with their main guns still intact, move them up further, and try to get some a line of sight on those enemy vehicles. The Panzer IV especially could be taken out from this right flank through those trees, so that's what I'm thinking at this moment. So just hunt the last little leg, just so if it does actually spot the Panzer IV, will stop and take the shot. I think I'm moving the Churchill up with the smaller 57mm caliber gun. That should still be able to handle a Panzer IV. Yeah, 75 will definitely be able to take care of it, but the 57 is still pretty useful. However, the 57 will not be useful at all, I don't think, against those King Tigers. I would have to be very lucky. And even the 75mm, we're going to have to get side armour and get lucky. So the remaining troops that haven't been engaged yet, the mechanised recon platoon, I'll just move them up quickly. Don't know what I'm going to do with them though. Can't charge them down the main road. So I'll hide them behind where the other vehicles are at the moment. It's obviously probably the safest part of the battlefield at the moment. Safe, but still close to the enemy. And the one Piat team still hasn't actually attended to his fallen comrade to pick up his spare ammo. So I'll try another little square adjacent to it. So it looks like we've had the artillery stopped. That's good. Except my artillery, but that's alright. Sad thing about that artillery, I think it's falling a little too early. A few more minutes, so when those infantry would have been in position, that would have been even better, but I won't complain. Meanwhile, my Churchills seem to be having a bit of fun with the infantry. They haven't been targeted by any guns, so looks like they're in a good position. I'm happy for them to keep that up at the moment. That should be my mortars coming in, that fire for effect order. So the mortars on the top right of the map should be just about ready to pummel that 88mm. Meanwhile, that Churchill's getting awfully close. I just put a cover armour arc on the area that the Panzer IV is stationed at. Just make sure that my crew really focus on that area. Just checking things out this turn. It's one of those turns where you just do a double check and then push go again, I think. It's playing a waiting game at the moment. Still 40 minutes, still plenty of time in this scenario to actually take that last objective. I'm not in a rush at all. If anything, I probably rushed a little bit too much of the first two objectives. But that has given me more time to just regroup and take this last section a little slower. Just going to use the remaining engineer of that little team to blast through that hedgerow, and then my platoon there in the centre near the road can advance without having to go onto the main road. If they go on the main road, they're probably going to get spotted by the King Tiger, who I still think is overwatching that main strip. I must admit, those two King Tigers, I am really starting to get worried. How am I going to take them out with what I've got?
Fire for effect. Out.
Got a couple of vehicles with very heavy guns, but they're not exactly the best anti-tank weapons. And there it is, yep. Spotted the King Tiger with some of that infantry. And sure enough, it is actually overlooking the road, so my sound contact was right earlier. Okay, so there's some retreating infantry.
Hello, round complete. End of mission. Out.
Looks like artillery's falling behind my lines again. More spotting rounds coming in. Okay, my Churchill in the centre there did move up, but he hasn't spotted the enemy Panzer IV. Looks like he's got a tree right in front of him. Probably the only negative from that turn. Fortunately, that little platoon leader there can't spot anything, so I'm going to move him up to that squad which has spotted the King Tiger. Hopefully, that platoon leader with his radio can also see the King Tiger from that same position. Maybe I can order an artillery strike. I've got a nagging feeling those King Tigers have reached their planned objectives. I think they're designed to hit that spot and go into Overwatch. Very, very good spots actually. The one on the left, on my left flank, that's got high ground and can overlook all of Hector. And the other one looks straight down the main road. So probably the same type of spots I would have put him in actually if I was playing as the Germans in this scenario. Especially those 88mm can hurt any of my vehicles with one shot. This is platoon in the centre, 14 platoon, which I think was the first platoon that was on the board right from the deployment. They're going to move up as well, straight through that new hole I just made in the hedgerows. Just giving them an order beforehand to go towards that path, make sure there's no stupid little AI decisions to move on the road first, then head that way. May take a little longer to get there, but better safe than sorry. going to put one in the house there, but I quickly decided against it, realising that being in that house they probably can be spotted by the King Tiger through the windows. Meanwhile, these squads that really flanked the German forces in Hector have really got nothing to shoot anymore. So I'm going to move them up further and they can rejoin their fellow platoon members along the hedgerow. Just move them behind the house first and then out. Don't want them anywhere near the main road if possible. So once again, spreading that whole platoon out along that hedgerow line, and to get the best possible line of sight and viewing angles. If the German infantry and the King Tigers do decide to advance, at least I'll have some warning with this platoon. They should be able to take a heavy toll, and the infantry has to cross that big open field. Because that big open field looks like just short grass, no concealment, nothing, so that'll be quite deadly if anyone wants to cross that, including me, unfortunately. And in the distance there you'll see the mortar and the dust built up from the mortar strikes, and that looks like that's really pummeled that whole area really good. So hopefully that means there's a abandoned 88mm up there. I'm going to have to find out if it's knocked out sooner or later. Just moving up this remaining Churchill from that platoon, or that troop, sorry. This one still has its 75mm gun operational, and just going to move it up next door to the 57mm. Hopefully this one can spot something between the trees and can take out that Panzer IV. Meanwhile, the infantry that's sitting on that ridge line, if my Churchills do engage a Panzer IV in a slugging match, they're going to get absolutely beaten. High explosive rounds and landing near their friendly tanks. Ricochets and shrapnel, they're asking for trouble. So going to move those infantry away and further forward. I think that clump of grey in the centre of the screen there now, I think that's the last of the real German resistance. I don't think there's no nasty surprises. Just seeing where those mortars are falling, they're falling roughly on target. So I think that gun is going to be out of action. Fingers crossed. It's only the other gunner, which I think is 75mm on the left flank. I'm not too worried. I can advance down this right flank if I can take out these King Tigers. I can probably race down the road and out of line of sight, so I'm not too worried about it just yet. It's got a lot of trees and buildings in its way to get line of sight on my tanks, so I'll ignore it for now. Fingers crossed it doesn't bite me in the ass. Okay, oh, looks like my my first tank has spotted the Panzer IV finally, but it's fired a round straight into a tree. Okay, it's registered as held down, but I don't like it. With the tree directly in front, I've got a nagging feeling that tank's going to keep firing at that tree stump for the rest of the game unless I do something. So I'll quickly reverse it slightly and then move it up slightly to its right. Hopefully that means it will get a line of sight between the trees. Or doesn't look like it, but I'll try it anyway. Because I know if I sit there it's going to be a waste of time. And just opening up the tanks too. There's no infantry around. Open up. Hopefully the tank commanders with their binoculars will be able to spot the Panzer IV a bit quicker. And that platoon's moving up unhindered. That's a good sign. Oh, looks like we took out a few remaining Germans. Tank crew. Looks like they're hiding behind that hedge. Looks like those buildings directly in front of me and down the centre there, they aren't occupied. It's got windows in that two-storey building. If would have been an ideal location for a heavy machine gun team. So it looks like it's not occupied. I may move up soonish to occupy it. And I'm just trying to work out where to do this big artillery strike. I know there's a King Tiger right in the middle there, but a big area of target like this, the chance of it actually hitting a King Tiger is very slim, or even hitting close. Just putting it on medium length.
Over.
That should 16-minute call-in time. Artillery rounds should give me one more chance in this round if I need it to call in the remaining of the ammo for the artillery battery. So I think I've got just enough time to do 2 strikes. And the howitzers will do a little shorter point target where I'm pretty sure I know where the King Tiger is on the road. See if we get lucky. Should be able to have another couple of shots with those howitzers too before the game ends. And for those Churchills, can't spot the other King Tiger, which hopefully it's still got its side armour facing me, but I can't really advance further either without exposing them. So they'll just sit there and keep shooting at infantry. So looks like the enemy Panzer IV didn't spot me. Even though that single shot seems to get awfully close. If you can hear it, there's a lawnmower going around on one of the neighbours' yards. I apologise. Nope, no one can spot the Panzer IV now, but he didn't seem to spot me either, so got a bit lucky there. So infantry can still see it, so it isn't moving. Okay, I think we'll leave it there for this time. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll move into the next objective next video. Please subscribe and like, and leave any comments below. See you next time.